Good people, what's up, what's good? Today, as you guys see, we have something that's a little different. I got my girl Syd right beside me. Syd, she had this great idea about content ideas. She is the genius behind this.
No.
Shout out to Syd, shout out to June, the two ladies that's the monsters behind 3 Milli Podcast, 3 Milli Productions. So 2021, we wanted to provide you guys with new media, new forms of content. And one of the ways of us executing that is by me and Syd chopping it up with you all, showing you more of an inside look into us as a couple, us as people, and Syd's personality as well, because she's a whole person out here. She's a human being too. And again, none of this would be possible without Syd. She's the person who's edited all of our content.
It wouldn't be possible without you either, babe.
I know, thank you, but gotta give
I make
love.
you look pretty.
Thank you. But seriously though, like Syd, she's the one behind the Millennial Masterclass series. She's the one behind the IG posts, behind the content as a whole. And June, she's the woman who's behind the camera when it comes to filming in-person interviews. So it's only right for this episode that we talk about relationships. Syd, she had a great idea. She posted what people would like to hear us talk about. And we had some great comments, some great questions. And one of the questions that I got from my guy at C Hill, make sure that y'all follow him, Do Work Impact Group, shout out to them. I see y'all, young black men who's killing it, was what does chivalry look like today? So that was a great question. So I'll let ladies go first.
I feel like chivalry is, oh, I said that so wrong. Chivalry, I feel like it is more so like focused on men and what men can do for women. But I feel like it needs to be mutual. Because at the end of the day, we're dating each other.
That's
we're both
true.
trying to figure out each other.
Yeah.
So it isn't just you need to do for me, you need to do for me. It's both ways. How do you feel?
That's a good point. Yeah. Now that you say that, it's true, because it's about, opening up the door for the lady, paying for the meal for the lady. I think today it looks like what it's always been. I think that being a gentleman isn't something that necessarily gets outdated. I think what people's perspectives right now is changing though, about you got city girls, then you got city boys, and I think really it's everybody's trying to be cool, or people are trying to
love each other less.
Yeah, that's a good point.
A competition on who cannot care. And it's like at the end of the day, you're not fooling yourselves. We all care. We all want to be loved. We all want a partner, whether that's with a man or a woman or a dog or whoever. We all want something to love. And I don't know. Dating is so jacked up right now. Like,
it's wild out here. Yeah.
It's so superficial. I feel like people aren't really getting to know each other, and that's why things aren't lasting for people. And I feel like people aren't having the true conversation of what is this? What are we doing? And what do you want?
Yeah.
I feel like people are jumping into sex way too quick, and I feel like they're jumping into a lot, and they're not knowing each other. That's why these marriages and these relationships are falling apart. I'm a child of a divorce. I am a child of a broken home, and that's not something that I've ever aspired to do for my children, because I know how that feels. I know how it feels to be torn from household to household and family to family. I mean, you see, I'm still dealing with some of that today as an adult. You still have to choose, holidays are stressful, because you have to choose between mom and dad and grandma and granddad, and it's generational for my family. Divorce is generational for my family, and I always said I didn't want to do that. So I feel like people have to just be real about how they feel. If I love you, I love you. If I don't, I don't. But it's it's not this competition. I don't.
I mean, that's so true, because I think as men sometimes we go in with that mindset of I have to be a player, or I have to not show you how vulnerable I am, or I can't show you how much I care just early, because if I do that, then I could get hurt. And although I care about you, I can't tell you that too early, because you could be dating casually, with someone else. You could be talking to someone else, and then I get my heart broken. But then at the same time, I think though we don't shoot our shot enough, and I think that all of this is just based around fear. And people,
I feel like it's based around pride too.
Fear and pride. I feel like that those two mixed together.
It's a deadly mix.
It's a very deadly mix. And then two, I just think that a lot of people aren't being themselves. Just be who you are. As a dude, be confident and practice on that confidence too. Dress how you dress. Don't try to dress like another dude. Don't try to be somebody else. You can gain inspiration from people. You can look up to people, but know that God, he created you. So be the best version of you. And really, man, just don't put on a facade. Like, I think
that's the key.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like,
and I feel like that's why, I'm sorry.
No, you good.
I feel like that's why people don't get to know each other, because you have to build that, you have to break down this facade that people are putting on when you first meet them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's hard to even make friends nowadays, because it's like, am I getting the real you?
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's this social media, it's these phones, it's this Tinder. And me and Caleb talk all the time. You know, we talk all the time about how we're out of touch because we've been dating each other since we were 14. And we haven't dated. You know, there was a period where we had separated and tried to date other people, and it scared the hell out of us. But we did, and I just feel like we're out of touch in a lot of ways. So I tell Caleb all the time, and he tells me too, like, we have to be understanding, and we talk to our friends about it, who have been single and who've been dating. But it's just like, some things you just... I'm losing my train of thought.
Yes, I don't know. It's things are just different, and I wouldn't even say different. It's just now we just have social media, and I think that everything is in front of you. Mm-hmm. There is more control over your partner. You can see what's going on. You can see what they're doing, who they're talking to, what they're talking about.
Obsessed with their partner.
Yeah,
like going through likes, going through comments.
But I don't think it's about being obsessed with the partner. It's obsessed with the control aspect, and then too, again, that goes back to the fear. I think that that's in your mind of, can this person hurt me?
Yeah.
What are they doing to hurt me? So I think that then goes back to control once again, and fear and pride, because this is all about the image. And then too, with men now, social skills aren't there anymore. No. Communication skills aren't there anymore, because all you're doing is just shooting DMs, and then you start viewing women as an object opposed to just a human being, because you're used to seeing busted challenges, seeing girls twerking, which is no problem with that. But what I'm saying is, if you look at the psychology of what's going on right now, everybody's being objectified. Yeah. And you aren't really looking at the person themselves. You're just looking at, what can I get out of this person? Which is 9 times out of 10 could be sex. So everything becomes hypersexualized. The woman, she becomes hypersexualized. The man, he becomes objectified about what type of money is he making. Is he a broke boy? Is he making 6 figures at 24? So all these unrealistic expectations are placed on each other, and placed on each other, and you aren't really looking for true value out of each other. Instead, it's, what can this person do for me? And that's why I think right now, back to that question of what does chivalry look like today, it's the same, but you have to go against a different type of battle now, because now a woman might not even be turned on by you being a gentleman, because she's probably not used to that, and that's somebody's fault.
I feel like that never changes though.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like as much as there are women who try to say that they don't like these things,
she still likes it.
Yeah,
it's just a wall that's built up.
Yeah, and I think people care more about what the people around them think. Like, there's even songs that, it's a Drake song, and I don't know the words exactly, but he's like, I can't do too much for you because my friends will laugh, you know?
Oh yeah, you talking about Drake's song with Young Blue, how basically he was just saying all the things that he did for her.
Yes, but it's
all
like,
his friends were like, why are you doing all that? Yeah.
But your friends, at the end of the day, when you're at home and you're in your bed lonely, and you're crying because you're lonely, your friends can't be your partner to you. Your friends can be your friends. At the end of the day, there's a level.
Different levels of love. Yeah.
And who cares? Me and Caleb have gotten blues from people who we considered friends over what we were doing for each other and what we were doing within our relationship. And at the end of the day, where are they now? You know, so don't allow your friends and your family or whoever to tell you what you can and can't do. Now, don't get me wrong. Talk to me and Caleb. We have one person, and he knows who he
Shout
is.
Out to Jacob.
Jacob English. Dr. Jacob English. He is our therapist, and if we ever, because every relationship is gonna have problems, and there's times, most of our problems were from communicating. We couldn't figure out how to communicate with each other, and Jacob was that median person who's like, okay, I see what Sydney's saying, I see what Caleb's saying, okay, now let's break it down. Everybody needs that person. But everybody needs that person, not those people. The more people that you keep bringing into your relationship, That's the problem. Like, there are so many people who walk around today and they think that they know Caleb and Syd, and they have no idea. And that's the same with every relationship. I mean, people look at these YouTubers and they think just because they watch them for 10 minutes, you know, every day, that you know their relationship. No, you don't. And that's why I say, like, do what is best for you and for your partner and for your household. Because at the end of the day, if you're dating with intentions and you're dating with purpose with that person, and that's what I really wanted to talk about.
Dating with intentions. I like that. That's good.
Well, not necessarily dating with intentions, but dating with transparency. Because sometimes people are going into this and they're like, I want to marry you, I want to be with you. And some people are like, I'm just getting over somebody, or I'm just testing out the dating world, I'm just getting into this. And then there's a clash. Because we're with each other, we're dating, we're doing relationship things, and then here comes that awkward talk of what are we? And this person is like, you know, we are what we are, what we've been doing. And you're like, well, I've been building this relationship with you, you know. So I feel like people need to date with transparency as well, because people are not telling each other what they want out of fear of this person moving on. But is that right?
Yeah.
You're holding this person back out of your own selfishness of not wanting to be alone. If you don't want to date with intentions, then go find somebody else who doesn't want to date with intentions. If you want to date with intentions, you know, vice versa. Like, I don't know. A lot of it is just people are not being true to themselves.
Yeah.
They're not being true.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough because I think too, when people date, especially men, you're trying to figure things out. And
women
I think
too.
No, yeah, but you know, I'm just speaking.
Yeah, from a man's perspective.
Yeah, all for guys, but I know, like, it can be tough because you start figuring things out as you go, and you probably don't want to hurt someone throughout that process.
Definitely.
And then two, at the same time, when you start getting older, and I already know now for people in their mid to late 20s, I feel like this is the hardest time to date. I know a lot of people think it's the 30s and 40s after kids and stuff if they're single, but opposed to that, you've had a chance to really be established in life. In your 20s, you've transitioned out of college, and this is your first time working probably a full-time job.
Yeah.
You're probably worried about student loans. You're probably worried about, I'm not making enough money. You're probably worried about, I'm staying in my parents' house when I'm trying to move out. So how can I date somebody inside of my parents' home? So all these things, right? So all these different things are just going on at one time, and then you're trying to be emotionally available for somebody and date someone too, and you don't know where that's gonna go. So it's all these things happening at one time. But I think that the biggest thing is just telling them what's going on, what type of headspace you're in. And that's hard to do because, again, going back to social media, you could have it on the outside that everything is all put together. So you don't want to reveal to somebody, hey, all of these things are going on with me, and then that person, they can use that against you in the future. So it's all these things, again, going against each other. But once again, transparency, because once you're transparent, you don't have to keep building a lie, and then if you do one lie, you have to keep lying to just keep up on that first lie.
Yeah.
So all those things are tough, but again, just be honest, be true to yourself, and just be an open book, because thing is, if you're honest and if you're real, then you'll find somebody who's honest and real. And even if that one girl who you're talking to, she might be superficial or materialistic, but that won't work. But then eventually, after trying and trying and trying, you will find somebody who's real with you. And if she's with you at the start of something, then she's gonna be with you when things start popping. So that's the best route to take. Or just spend some time to yourself. That's the best way to do it. Like, it's okay to be single. It's okay to
Caleb and Syd had to spend time to ourselves to figure this thing out. And that's what people have to realize. Like, you just, until you know yourself, until you have that foundation within yourself, you can't build a foundation with anybody else. And I think that's that level of vulnerability that people don't want to tap into. Being vulnerable is beautiful because not everybody can do it. And it's nothing more attractive than a vulnerable man. It's nothing more attractive than a vulnerable woman to me. Because, and that's whether it be, you know, in a relationship completely platonic or in a romantic relationship, there's nothing more attractive than a person who can be vulnerable. Because a person who can be vulnerable is truly confident within themselves. Because you don't care what people think about you. You don't care what people have to say about you, because it's like, I was being me. I was showing you how I truly feel. And I think that people are so worried about, if I'm vulnerable, then they're going to think I'm weak. But honestly, vulnerability is the true strength. I mean, we have to be vulnerable to God. We have to be vulnerable to our partner. And that's another thing. Like, I think that people have to realize, like, your romantic relationship should reflect your relationship with God. Because that is love. That's your first love, you know?
2,000 years later.
when she's saying being vulnerable but also be private, I feel like that is a very possible thing. I know it sounds like it's difficult, it sounds like an oxymoron, a contradiction, but it's possible because we have to understand that social media is not real life. Yes, social media is a dope place. You can network with people, you can learn from each other, but at the same time, understand that you have to draw boundaries, like you have to draw a line, and you don't want to overshare things, right? And I know for guys, toxic masculinity is a term that sometimes is being overused. It's a buzzword, but I think that we can still study from that term and realize I can say inside of your own perspective, right? That if you take a step back and realize that it is toxic if I'm not sharing my emotions with a friend or with my therapist or with my mentor, a counselor, pastor, whoever. Somebody, girlfriend, partner. But you're kind of hurting yourself if you're sharing valuable and vulnerable information with people who don't have your best interest in heart. So if you're sharing it with people on social media who are just following you just to be nosy, then now you're giving them access that they don't deserve. Like, you are a very special person, so you should value people's access to you. So if I'm always posting how I'm feeling every day, or if I'm always posting when I'm going through a bad breakup or a rift in a relationship, that's not healthy for you, because people don't deserve that much access to you to know what's going on. I'm not saying to always be stoic, of course not, but be very intentional about who you share your information to, because that's valuable and you are a person who has a lot of value. So yeah, just take your time, but be vulnerable, yes, but also be private. And that is something that, of course, you know, that you will learn through trial and error, but think before you post.
Definitely trial and error, because I could, like, a lot of people don't know that we had ever, you know, separated and took that breather from each other, because we didn't go on social media and announce it, you know, nobody knew. And then when we decided that this was what we wanted to say and we wanted to make this work, it wasn't this big, you know, so like that was a trial and error situation for us, but we were like, yeah, we did make the right decision. And I know I see on Twitter people always saying, like, you know, because they say on Twitter, like, oh, all the private people
I'm never on
like,
Twitter, so you're
I'm like the lurker on Twitter. I just get on there and laugh. So they're like, you know, like, oh, the people who say they're so private this, private that. And it's like, yes, like you were saying, toxic masculinity is a what'd you say it was a what type of word?
Buzzword.
Yeah, it's a buzzword.
Like, it's always being used.
Yeah, so I feel like that's what's going on with privacy as well. It's kind of like a buzzword, like, oh, I'm a private person. But no, it's just, like you were saying, respect yourself with the amount of information that you put out. You don't see Jay-Z and Beyonce tweeting. You don't see
LeBron and Savannah.
You don't see anything about LeBron and Savannah. Now, don't get me wrong, Jay-Z and Beyonce have let us into their relationship, so we think, through their music. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. It could all be a facade for sales, you know? But that's the beauty of their relationship, and at the end of the day, nobody can question their relationship because nobody knows their business, and that's how it should be. But with that being said, be careful not to be fake as well, you know, but that you navigate through that on your own.
And two, I think that, again, intentions, right? Like, we have to understand that even when you're dating or even when you're single, practice good habits, because if you are practicing good habits, then once you reach that point of where the universe wants for you to be, God wants for you to be, once you get with that partner that you've desired to eventually be with, you're now prepared. So if y'all ever are going through anything, you won't be posting stuff about it on social media because you've already been practicing privacy.
Yeah, because once those, I'm sorry. Go ahead, baby, I'm sorry.
Nah, it's just, have intentions, be intentional. And that is the biggest thing, is just being intentional, and understand that if you want something, you first have to practice like you're working towards that, because then you will be prepared for it. But you can't say that I want a relationship, but you aren't preparing yourself for a relationship. You aren't working on yourself. So then even if you do get that superstar person, right? Or if you get that dream person, you aren't ready for that person. And it would suck even more to not be ready for that person, opposed to working on yourself, so then when you finally do get that person, you're already ready. And then too, especially for all my guys out there, how impressive is that when you finally meet that young lady of your dreams and you are already on it? And I'm not saying that you'll be perfect, but you've been practicing so much on yourself, and you've been building yourself, and you've been meditating more, working on the physical, the mental, the spiritual, that now you can help assist your partner, and your partner, he or she can assist you, and then y'all can grow together. And that's the biggest thing, is know that you should already be in that mindset of, I'm practicing good habits right now, and I'm just trying to be as intentional as possible.
Because you have to meet people where they are. And that's another thing for my ladies out there. Don't lose your man because you're comparing him to everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, and that goes for men too. People will literally lose the person that should have been and could have been the one, and they spend the rest of their lives talking about that person that could have been the one, because you know, they wanted to see if the grass is greener. And we hear that all the time, but it's really bad now that social media is out here. And if my relationship doesn't look like the relationship that I see on the explore page, then something's wrong. No, that's your relationship, and that's what makes it beautiful. So I say, don't lose your partner and don't lose your relationship off of comparison. Comparison is the biggest thief of joy.
Yeah.
And you, just as much as, you know, we have to practice those good habits of speaking and having those positive affirmations every morning with yourself, do that with your relationship as well. Caleb and I, we pray together. We encourage each other. I mean, it's like all day long. We're like, you look good, babe. Proud of you, babe. You know, like, you're doing good, babe. Something, because that's our love language, and that's not gonna work for everybody. But at the end of the day, everybody likes to be told and have that reassurance of, I see you. We spend every day together. When we're not at work, we're together, especially with this pandemic. We're the only, 9 times out of 10, we're the only person that we've communicated with that day outside of work. So if the one person that you're communicating with isn't giving you those positive reinforcements and that reassurance that you need, where do you get it from? So then you start resenting this person, because you're like, do you not see my value? Do you not see my worth? And then if buddy down the street starts to, oh, I see you, that's where all of this comes into play. Now you are opening up your relationship to other people. So just make sure that just as much as you want to receive that reassurance and that love and that affirmation, that you're doing it for your partner as well.
That's good stuff, man.
It is, because you taught me that, honestly, because growing up, like, I wasn't a big, my family's super lovey-dovey. Like, we're very touchy-feely, but we're not very vocal sometimes with how we feel about one another. So I didn't really grow up with that constant, I'm proud of you. Like we say I love you, but that deep, I love you, I'm in love with you, you are my person, you are my partner. I didn't grow up with that. Whereas Caleb is like, words are everything to you. You're always, and it used to, like, when we first started dating, it like freaked me out, because I'm like, he just got a good game, like, it ain't nothing but game. But no, you really do mean the things that you say, and that's something that I've learned from you for sure too. And I try to implement that in all of my relationships, of letting people know how I feel about them. They say you got to give people their flowers while they're here.
That's real. And I would say, staying on that same point, but for all the people who's on Clubhouse, piggyback off of that point, I'm piggybacking off of that point, is that,
like we're back in college.
Right, is that I would say, to take that a step further, right, is to practice loving everybody else around you too first. Because if you start showing love to all your homeboys, all your homegirls, if you start showing love to your mother, your father, your grandmother, grandfather, your uncles, cousins, and checking in on them and genuinely caring about them, then it's going to be easy to be unselfish towards your partner, even if you are single right now.
I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah, because
you're practicing.
And that's what people don't realize. Like, all right, if you want to become a doctor, you practice by going to school. You have to do trial runs. You have to have a whole dissertation, have to experiment, have to do case studies. If you want to be, even for media, I had to do projects, right? So if it wasn't for those projects, if it wasn't for those countless interviews, written interviews that I did, in-person interviews that I did, all those things, I wouldn't be prepared to do what we're doing right now. I wouldn't be prepared to do 3 Milli, host stuff. If Syd wasn't editing stuff all the time, she would not get better. She would not progress. So it's kind of counterintuitive for us as human beings to not have that same mindset when it comes towards our love life. Like, how do you not practice love, but then you expect to fall in love with somebody and to have a very successful relationship? Like, it is work, me and Syd, we go through ebbs and flows. We're human beings. I'm a Capricorn, she's an Aries. Naturally, we aren't even compatible.
No.
So
that's the crazy thing.
It really takes work. It takes work, and I think that
it takes practice too.
It takes work and practice, and we kind of want instant gratification, and we think that just because I'm attractive or she's attractive, that is gonna work, or just because I have X amount of followers and she has a big following and I have a brand, she has a brand, it's gonna work. But the question is, what type of value are you bringing to each other? And Sid will tell you this. I say this all the time about guys and girls. Like, what are both of y'all bringing to the table? And that's what people sleep on so much, is that you have to genuinely ask yourself that. All my ladies out there, all my guys out there, ask yourself and be honest. What am I genuinely bringing to the table? And if it's just everything is physical or monetary, then you aren't really bringing anything to the table.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you also have to realize what burdens and what negative energy
and trauma,
that you're bringing to the table as well. Because all of that, just as much as you're good, you can have a 6-figure job, you can have thousands of followers, blah, 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 blah. But if you're still not over your baby mama from 10 years ago, or if you're still dibbling and dabbling with your friends, you know, female friends or male friends, and you're bringing this to the table, then you're dragging your partner through it. And even deeper than that, if you still haven't healed from your parents' divorce, from abuse, from, neglect, these things that you've gone through as a child, you're bringing that to the table as well. And that was huge with me and you, because we got together as children. So we didn't realize what traumas we were bringing, because we were going through them simultaneously as we're dating, so it took us, that's why we had to have that break and say, whew, it's been 6 years and we don't know what has happened. It's been like a whirlwind. We just been in this relationship and we're just go, 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 love, love, love. And it's like, wait, I didn't get to know myself. And that's the beauty of dating now that you're older. That's the thing that people are kind of being able to skip over, because your past relationships should have shown you some of that. But that's, again, goes back to your point of you have to be honest.
Yeah, be honest, practice.
Yeah. And
most importantly, too, just be yourself. So all the guys out there, like, there's no secret to having game. I see roommates podcasts, I see y'all, like what you guys are doing. But yeah, just overall, like, I've been seeing people talk about being a high value man, and that is a dope concept. I love that. But also, people need to realize, for all the people searching out there to become this high value man, the answer is already in front of you. Like, you hold that answer. All you literally have to do is be yourself. It's that simple. There's no guru that, like, if you want to go to some, knock yourself out, but literally just be yourself. And if yourself is somebody that you aren't pleased with, then start attacking the day. Start writing down goals. Start planning out a daily regimen. Start waking up earlier. Hey, even myself, by me having to be at work at 6 a.m. every day, that taught me, you can get a lot done by waking up at 4 a.m. I promise you.
And then take a nap.
Of course.
My favorite.
But regimen, like, all the guys out there who's trying to become a high value man, or who's trying to say, like, I don't have game yet, how do I get game? Be yourself. Start going to the gym. Build up the physical, but through that, build up the mental, the spiritual. Meditate, write down goals, and just write down 1 to 5 weekly goals. Write down 1 to 2 daily goals.
And that's something that you've really taught me.
Yeah, it works.
It works. And like, it's scary. Like, there was a huge goal that we just accomplished this week, and I swear to you, Caleb had just written it down.
You can say it, because by this time we'll make a video about it. But
okay, screw it. So Caleb, we are doing the podcast full time.
Yeah. And
we sat down and we prayed. We've meditated on it as a unit for months, because at the end of the day, nobody pays our bills but us. So it's between us, and we figured it out. We saved, we focused, but yeah, so we made that big goal, and it was just crazy. It's like crazy how God works. And I had chills the day that it happened, because we were planning on May. We're gonna quit our jobs in May, and then May became March, and then March became now, because it's just like, we would get so behind. And I posted that video on my Instagram talking about, like, we were getting so behind on content, and Caleb wrote it down. And that's why I say, like, people plan, but God laughs, because at the end of the day, he already knows that you're playing. He's
I noticed how you didn't say when man plans, you said people. I like that.
Inclusivity.
Right.
So when people plan, God laughs, because we had all these plans, and we're gonna hit this monetary goal, and we gotta have this much money in our bank account, and it's just like, okay, but how? You're never gonna be able to hit these goals going and clocking in for somebody else. Period.
It takes up way too much time.
It takes up way too much time, especially we're in the middle of a pandemic by itself, and the work that we're doing, it's time consuming. Like, yes, we have a videographer, but our videographer, June, shout out to June Originals. We love you, June. That's our girl. She only does the in-person interviews. Everything else that you see, that's Caleb and Syd. And I know Caleb always says it's just me, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to the exporting, yes, I'm doing the editing. But when it comes down to the exporting, the posting, the execution, this man right here you're involved, and you have to give yourself that credit because you are the most involved in your content that I've seen for a person that's in your position. You know, usually people they're one-dimensional. I'm in front of the camera, I'm behind the camera. That's it. You know how to do both. And at the end of the day, if Sydney was to drop and stop editing now, you figure it out because that's how you are. But that's what we were saying about bringing something to the table. Be dependent, but don't be, I don't know, be codependent, but don't be dependent. I don't know the verbiage to use, but you, like, as much as he depends on me for editing, he could do it himself. As much as I depend on him for content, I could do it myself. And that's the biggest thing, because it's like, it's not this dread, like, oh, you know, I'm pulling him along, I'm pulling her along. That's never fun in a relationship. So with that being said, I guess we can go ahead and segue into Ari's question.
Okay.
Ari wanted to know how, let me go read it really quickly.
Don't worry guys, we'll make a whole nother video about doing the podcast full-time, inspiration behind that. Yeah. It's coming soon too, I promise.
So Ariel, my girl Ariel, so let me tell you a little bit about Ariel. I met Ariel at Kennesaw State University.
Ariel.
Yeah, Ari, this is our girl, yeah,
Shout
Ari.
Ariel. What's up?
We love Ari, this is our girl, we go way back a couple years. But yeah, so Ari said, what keeps things fresh and new after so long? She said, love you guys, we love you more. So, one way that me and you keep things fresh, so before the pandemic, we were doing frequent dates. I think we were doing like monthly dates. So when we were living at home, and I know, like, let's talk about
staying
that.
At our parents.
Yeah, so staying at our parents, we were living separate. Coming from, and I know a lot of people go through this adjustment, coming from college, living on your own.
Especially having like your own apartment in college.
Yeah, we had our own apartments, you know, we're chilling.
Downtown, like you pretty much grown at that point. You living, going to the Atlantic Station, the Buckhead.
Yeah, we were going everywhere. I mean, every corner
weekend.
Of the city. Every weekend.
Movie theater every weekend, out to eat.
Yeah, we were doing a lot. And then we didn't really have like bills because student loans was paying them rent. So
working.
I
was working. I had two jobs on campus, and I was pretty much making full-time money. Sid was making full-time money. So yeah, I mean, in college.
It's crazy how you be making so much money in college.
Yeah, in college, man, we was balling. Yeah.
We were having fun. So yeah, like we were going on frequent dates. We were trying out all these new things. So when we got home, all of that changed because now we're in our parents' home. Our parents were not the type of parents where we can be in bedrooms and stuff like that. It was like we were back in high school. And, you know, of course that's fine because at the end of the day, we don't pay their bills. We're going to respect their house. But it did provide a lot of challenges within our relationship. So one thing that me and Caleb started doing was weekend staycations. We would go get a room right up the road and
literally. If all the people in Tyrone, Fayette County
go to those hotels in Fairburn, there's a couple of them. They've got like the Hilton and
it's not a Marriott, is it?
It's a Marriott
Holiday
back
Inn.
there, the Holiday Inn and stuff like that. But find out where it is.
And two hotels like throughout this area, like Cumberland area.
Yeah, Cobb County where we're at. It's a lot of hotels out here for people that are in Atlanta. But pretty much like, and what you have to realize with these hotels is a lot of them have reward programs where you can join. And a couple of times we ended up like having like free nights, discounted nights. And when we'd have them, we'd just randomly be like, you want to go to the hotel this weekend? And we'd go and we would just have so much fun. We'd do what we usually do. We'd watch our movies, we'd get our favorite food, hot wings, and we would eat and have fun, and we'd bring our fire stick and we'd bring our candles and our diffusers, and we just made it like our own little home. And that was always a refresh button for our relationship, and it brought us closer. Another thing, so that was what we were doing when we were at home, and that was all up until we both had surgeries. When we both had surgeries, that kind of went out the window. But one thing that we were doing was we learned that we like to nap together because we both were on a lot of medication. So those naps that we got to take were legendary. So yes, so as far as how we keep it fresh now, Honestly, dates and all that has gone out the window because we work.
Workaholics too.
We work and we
like
enjoy it. Like, we'll sit on the couch. You know what me and Caleb did? We created our own little compound in our home. Like, as you see, our couch is a bed. Like, we are comfortable wherever we go. We run our candles. We have our sage. We have our diffuser. We have our TV going. We'll play music. And that's our bonding time because right now we're grinding. You know, a couple years we're getting married. We're having kids. So that's when that time will slow down. We won't be able to work like this. So while we're young, we're working. So screw a date. That's how
why
I
y'all
feel.
See so much content right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is my thing. And one way that me and Caleb, like, we cook new foods. We go new places.
I'll say that. Like,
yeah, we eat.
We realize, and y'all, I'm gonna be honest, Syd is the best cook I've ever experienced in my life.
No.
Because every single time that we'll go out to eat, and I start eating the food, and I'm like, Syd, you can make this. And then she'll be like, nah, stop gassing me. And then we'll find the recipe, we'll make it. If you have an air fryer, that's a cheat code. Like, it's pointless to go out to eat and get burgers. It's pointless to go out to eat to get wings when you can get like a 50 pack of wings for the price of what, 20?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Man, just really, you can just, if you are a homebody and of course it's COVID, like y'all could really be vibing. Like, all my guys out there, curate you let me stop you. We have a playlist for you. It's on the way, especially for all the guys, all the ladies who love R&B.
And I'm telling y'all, like, our playlists are the bomb. It's good vibes. It ain't no, me and Caleb
underground stuff. So it's not like mainstream pop artists or mainstream R&B artists. It's like underground stuff that when you start playing it, especially for all the guys and the ladies too, when you start playing it, your partner's gonna be like, yo, or if you're on a date for the first time, that's an icebreaker. It's like, yo, who is this? And you start talking like, yo, this is so-and-so. How you know that? Conversation right then and there. So yeah, I would just say thank you. So man, just play you some music, like vibe out to some music for all my content creators. Just create more content, but do it in a fun manner. Like what I'll do is while she's editing, I'm playing Madden and I'm listening to podcasts and I'm getting ideas. And when she's done the editing, I'll start finishing up on the podcast and ebook that's coming out soon. And yeah, like just bounce off ideas, like play video games, play music out loud, cook together. Like that's a fun experience.
It's a fun
experience.
And just
come up with like different recipe
Grab
ideas
a bottle of wine.
or food ideas, wine, movies.
Try different wine. Movies. Now that
invest in HBO Max is worth it.
We have everything. We have every streaming.
Invest in that because here's the thing. That money you would have spent $40 at Atlantic Station or at Tinseltown, wherever, and instead, bro, go buy you HBO Max, stream Stars, Hulu, and these are only $4 or $5 subscriptions a month. And movies are playing on HBO Max that would have been playing in a theater. Guess what? You can watch it at the crib, or if you don't have your own spot yet, which is perfectly fine. Cause I've been there, and it's not
hard.
Easy. Like that's hard, bro.
Especially when you're single and you don't have, like, we get to split everything.
So
you know?
if y'all are single, if you know that your parents are cool, invite so and so over, chill, have your space. If you have a basement, a finished basement, that's a cheat code. Go down in the basement with that special person, and you know y'all can keep it, respectful, but you can play music, watch movies, talk,
light you a good candle,
and
talk.
And babe, I'll say this right now, and I'm sorry if I'm going off on a tangent, but like right now I feel like it's the best time to date because you can't really go out, which means that you're gonna actually spend intimate time together.
It's like all the hoopla's gone.
Yeah, like so all the fancy bells and whistles are gone. Like you can't woo somebody off of this fancy dinner. Well, in Atlanta you can because everything's open, but y'all can just sit down and chill and really get to know each other.
Yeah,
so, stuff like
I agree. And I feel like honestly, like this pandemic and everything has brought Caleb. I'm sorry, you guys, my eyes are watering. I don't ever wear makeup, so when I do, my face is like So yeah, so we've just figured out like weird little things. Like one of the things that me and Caleb do, another way that we have intimacy, we like to wake up very early in the morning, like 4 a.m. when everything's quiet and it's still dark, and we'll light a candle and we'll just play music and we'll just meditate before our day starts, and we'll just cuddle and just get to know, talk about our weeks, talk about what we want to do for the day. And that is a big way that me and him connect, because that's our time. Like we always say, like we like to get up before the world gets up so that we can have that time, because I'm telling you, like spirits and spirituality is real. You can feel it. I mean, I can tell you, like I can feel when my neighbors get up, because I'm like, okay, everybody's up, and it's just so peaceful. Especially like the summer, we said that we want to start doing like early morning swims at our pool. We want to start going out on the porch and praying and stuff like that. But you just have to find your niche. That's just how we keep it fresh. But honestly, starting this business together was a new, fresh thing for our relationship. Like, that's a huge turn on, to work with your partner and to see him working and to see her working and to see them accomplishing goals. That's the biggest turn on to me. It just made me be like,
get a bag together.
Yeah.
Get a bag together. And for all the guys out there, again, and I'll say this in my closing remarks, is that, again, I see a lot of fellas out there trying to learn how to be a high value man, how to be a eligible bachelor, I guess you can say, or to make people pursue you and women to pursue you and to want you and desire you. But I think it's all a very simple formula, right? It's just simply being yourself. One, treat women with respect and show love. Like, if you just go in the room and you show love to everyone around you, and if you go in there being confident, and even if you aren't a confident person yet, just go into each room and each day and say, I'm gonna practice, just like with practicing love, I'm gonna practice being confident. So I might fail, I might suck, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna go into this room and I'm gonna put a smile on my face and I'm gonna try to pour into somebody. And then eventually your confidence will grow. Confidence isn't about tearing somebody else down so you can feel better about yourself. Confidence is pouring. Confidence is pouring into somebody and you putting a smile on their face, and then that is gonna put a smile on yours and the person next to you. And now you're confident, and guess what? People, they're gonna ride for you. And guess what too? That young lady across the room, she's gonna see you being yourself, being thoughtful, being nice, and she's gonna see potential. So be yourself, write down those goals, be ambitious, and feed into every part of your body when it comes to the physical, the mental, and the spiritual, and you will become a very high value man. And it's that simple.
And when you have a partner, do it as a unit. That's the main thing. And Caleb and I had to learn that as well. Pray together. The Bible tells you that. Pray together, because at the end of the day, we're a unit. And the Bible says when you leave your parents' home, you become flesh with your woman. Y'all are one. And I know that's like, a synopsis of what it says, but me and Caleb try to practice that every day more and more and more. Because when we first moved in, we were like praying, I'm praying over here, he's praying over there. I'm meditating over here, he's meditating over there. And then we're doing it at different times. And then it's like, why? Like we're in the same household, we're putting into the same pot. This is mind, body, soul. We need to be mind, body, soul together, because at the end of the day, when God looks at us, and we're not legally married, I don't even get into all that. You my husband. So, so when you become one, you have to be one. You have to operate as one. And this business has really shown us that in a lot of ways. So
nah, that's facts. And shout out to June and her wife, because we have great conversations.
Yes, we love that.
June, so shout out to y'all.
And her wife is my bestie.
Yes, Jacob and Corey, we love y'all as well.
And that's the thing, like we have some good couple, and that's another thing, really quickly. It is hard being a couple and having friends.
That'll be for the next episode.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that for the next episode. So stay tuned for that, because that plays a part into it as well. Yes.
So in closing, y'all, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the 3 Milli Podcast. We cannot thank you all enough. Shout out to this beautiful woman, Syd. Shout out to beautiful soul, June, for making all of this possible. And subscribe, man, subscribe. Like, we have so much dope content. Like, it doesn't make sense if you aren't subscribing, if you aren't sharing this content. Keep showing love. Again, we cannot thank y'all enough. My name is Caleb Smith, host of the 3 Milli Podcast. I got Syd, creative director. She's the whole engine behind everything. And also, quick plug, if you have any videos that need to be edited, if you have a brand that needs to be shifted, if you need something to be rebooted, relaunched, if you have a podcast that you're struggling with, that's your girl, Syd. She just launched her business. Check her out. She has great rates, great monthly fees. She will take care of you. I promise. Anything you gotta say, Syd?
Yes, so I just wanted to say thank you guys, first of all, for watching this content, if you made it to the end. If you like this type of content, make sure to comment down below and let us know what you guys want to hear next. We will, I think we said we're gonna try to do this at least once or twice a month.
Easily. Yeah. No, a week. Easily.
Okay, Daddy said a week, so we're gonna do it.
I got y'all.
So once a week. So we'll keep doing these Instagram polls. That's where we got these questions from. Shout out to my girl Ari.
In closing, y'all, I cannot thank you all enough. Me and Syd, we cannot say that we love you all enough. Shout out to the beautiful Syd, of course, June, the women behind 3 Milli Pod that make it possible. I'm the only dude, so the ladies run
and we
this
tell them
thing.
what to do.
Yes. So shout out to the women. Again, we cannot thank y'all enough. All the fellas in the comments, let me know down below what you would like for me to talk about next from my perspective. All the ladies, let Syd know. Ladies, if you have questions from my perspective, let me know as well.
Yeah.
Fellas, if you want free game from a woman, let Syd know down in the comment section. But we cannot, again, thank you all enough. Y'all have been killing it for us. Y'all have been supporting us since day one.
Yeah.
And we are just gonna keep pushing this content. Y'all gonna see videos like this at least once to twice a week. So we got y'all. So Syd, before we bounce, would you like to say anything?
I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Boosie. Thank you.
Thank you guys for making it to the end of this video. Thank you guys for always supporting our content. It means the most. And make sure that you're interacting and letting us know what you like, what you don't like, what topics, and if you disagree. Because not everybody's gonna agree.
It's just a conversation.
Yeah, it's just a conversation, and I love that dialogue, you know. So always feel like, you know, feel open to comment down below, but let us know and keep watching.
And subscribe.
Like, comment, share, subscribe.
Yes. And share this. And
like
also,
says.
anybody out there, yeah, like everybody says, anybody out there, seriously, if you have a podcast, if you have a business, a brand, and if you need a dope editor, if you need somebody to help you with your content strategy, Syd is your girl. Syd has just launched a business for young creatives, so I love that.
For young creative, well, young and old. But.
Yeah, but she's providing value and she's helping changing people's lives. In the Clutch podcast, she's just signed a contract with them. My baby got her first deal. So
I love In the Clutch
Nia
podcast.
And Malik, shout out to y'all.
Yes,
and
you guys
quick
are
plug, y'all make sure to subscribe to In the Clutch podcast.
We'll put it down below.
Great sports podcast, black woman, black man. And seriously, Syd brings the vision to life, and 3 Milli Podcast would not be where it's at today if it wasn't for Syd, because she brings the vision to life. So
thank you, baby.
Shout out to Syd. If you guys need a dope content creator, she's your girl. Editor, brand strategist, content strategist.
And while my baby is plugging me, let me plug him. He is going to be starting to do consultations. He gets DMs 24/7 about how he does this and how 3 Milli works.
Ebook's dropping too.
And the ebook is dropping soon. So he will be doing consultations. He will meet you where you are with your budget and where you are with your progress. Don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel shy. Don't feel intimidated. Any of that. Because at the end of the day, we always welcome anybody with open arms, whether you have 0 followers or thousands of followers, because we all started from somewhere and we're still in our journey. So make sure to reach out to my man.
Yes,
He is going to be doing consultations, ebooks, paid interviews if you're looking for any type of promo, ads. We are starting to do ads. 3 Milli is getting a lot of traction on Google. So if you were looking for ads, definitely make sure to contact us. Anything else, baby?
Yes, shout out to Christian Hill for the question. Reinhardt brother, man, shout out to you. He was a dog. Shout out to the Do Impact work group, man. Y'all are dope, man. Do work. That is a movement, and I see what you young bulls are doing. Like, y'all are changing the game. Y'all are sparking conversation. Y'all are helping the black youth. So I love seeing that. And shout out to Ari.
My girl.
I see your podcast. You were killing it. Keep doing your thing.
And she is DJing.
Yes.
And it's awesome. She's awesome. So if you're looking for a DJ, hit up 3 Milli Pod. We'll get you in touch with Ariel.
Big facts.
She is awesome.
Yes. So again, in closing, I promise this time, I love y'all. Cannot thank y'all enough. Thank you to Syd.
Thank you, baby.
And if y'all would like for us to keep doing this, let us know.
Let us know.
Peace.